as we repeat that breaking news that Iran has just fired 6 missiles at a US airbase, Al Udeid, inside Qatar. Is this in response, presumably it is, to what Trump did at the weekend? Is it tokenism? Will it cause casualties? What will the fallout that be? Isabel, good afternoon. How are you?
Well, the truth is, a little bit nervous sitting here in probably, I'd like to think, the safest part of this region. I'm in the United Arab Emirates, but across the region, the governments are monitoring very, very closely what has just happened in Qatar. A number of countries are looking at potentially closing airspace, and it is all a bit edgy. I'm not going to lie. I think that the question now is, was anybody hurt at that US airbase in Qatar? Because if so, then that will likely escalate matters. But the US had plenty of advance intelligence that this was coming. That's why a few hours ago, the message went out, and it included a message from our own Foreign Office that those in the country should, I can't quite remember what the phrase was.
Get the hell out.
stay in shelter or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's an uneasy feeling. And I flew back into the Emirates on Saturday night, just as it happened, as America was unleashing hell on Iran's nuclear facilities. And my flight took a very, very wide berth of Iranian airspace. And there's a lot of people here in the Emirates tonight wondering, are they going to get out early? A lot of people leave the Emirates for the summer in any case. Are airlines going to be cancelling more flights? I reported last week for Talk that already the Dutch airline KLM was cancelling planned routes as early as a few days ago.
Just from a personal point of view, and you're there in the Middle East, was he right, Donald Trump, to do what he did? I've sort of said all day that I absolutely support what he did, and it annoys me that in the rhetoric of it all, people need to keep being reminded that these mad, I nearly called them the B word, but we'll call them mullahs, have been financing disgusting terrorist groups for as long as anybody could remember. And let's also not forget that Iran signed an agreement, a nuclear weapons agreement, that they've completely and utterly breached. They've made it their life's work to destroy the Israeli state from the river to the sea. They've said that. We, of course, are so weak and ineffectual and have absolutely no standing anymore on the world stage. Starmer found out about 5 minutes before it happened. And again, to me, it seems whatever one makes of Donald Trump as the man, and there are plenty of flaws, he's done what he probably had to do, and he's had the cojones to go ahead and stand up and be counted.
Well, this is entirely in keeping with the Trump philosophy of peace through strength. And evidently, the US had intelligence that Iran was absolutely on the brink of doing what Donald Trump and everyone else who's got any sense has always said must never happen, and that is developing nuclear weapons. And so, yes, I don't have any difficulty, unlike members of our government, members of the UK government, in saying I do support what Trump has done here. Does it make for a particularly comfortable, easy time across the Middle East? Of course not. But it is in the interests of everybody who wants a better quality of life, including the vast majority of Iranian people, for this regime to be weakened, if not entirely replaced. I mean, life for most ordinary Iranians is not good. You know, this is not some kind of nice place to live. And the naivety of those idiots that took to the streets in London protesting about leaving Iran alone. Are you kidding? I mean, do you think Iran is leaving neighboring countries alone? I mean, Iran, sponsors of Hezbollah and so many
Houthis, Hamas, the list goes on and on. They want to destroy the Jewish state, for God's sake. What my point is, it seems to always come to America. I know we have only got about 74 soldiers. Let's talk about what happened. We're watching those pictures in Doha. We'll keep breaking that news, repeating that news. Iran has fired 6 missiles at the US Al sorry, Al Udeid Air Base inside Qatar in retaliation for what Trump did at the weekend. Qatari airspace is closed. We're just going to keep updates. I think Isabel's dead right. This is the point, Isabel, if any American personnel are injured or killed, the game changes. Then Donald Trump's in a slightly difficult position because he made the point, didn't he? One strike, if you respond, there'll be trouble. I don't think he wants them to respond, but the reality was they probably always were going to, wasn't it?
Well, there's always face saving, and it's not just in regimes like that. I mean, you know, in almost all administrations, they want to do
we got some breaking news. You'll love this. Qatar has just said no casualties from the attack on the US airbase. Qatar has said that it reserves the right to respond directly and in accordance with international law. It's also said no casualties. Its air defences intercepted a missile attack. We are assured that Qatari air defences thwarted the attack and successfully intercepted the Iranian missiles. A statement clarifying the circumstances of this attack will be issued later by the Qatari Ministry of Defence. So let me put this scenario to you. The Ayatollah Khomeini severely weakened the nuclear facility. We don't know how successful those bombs were because one of them at Kokana was 80 feet below. Did those bombs, what are they called, duster bombs or something, did they work? We're not too sure. Is this tokenism so that they can say to the Iranian people, look, we attacked an airbase, and Trump can go, well, that was pathetic, no casualties, let's all get on with our lives?
Well, here's hoping that's what it is. You know, it's obviously very hard to judge. You know, these people are not known as mad mullahs for nothing. There's an unpredictability about this. But I mean, Trump himself doesn't want a kind of regional escalation. And whilst you've just read out a statement there from the Qataris saying they reserve the right to respond, I'd be very surprised if they hit back at Iran. I mean, Qatar and Iran have good and close relations and economic ties, and an attack on an American airbase is effectively an attack on actually a sort of little pocket of US territory. It's a bit like attacking an embassy. So I don't think Qatar is going to have to strike back. They will want to talk tough to make it clear that you don't just get to pelt things across at their own territory without some kind of at least some kind of verbal comeback. But I can't see that they're going to follow through by trying to kick off a fight with the Iranians.
Are you all right to hang around a bit, because I want to go to break up?
Yeah.
I want to talk to you afterwards about the other thing, but can I just repeat that news if you're just arriving back? There were reports earlier which are now confirmed that Iran fired 6 missiles at a US airbase, Al Udeid, inside Qatar. This was reported first by Reuters and then followed up by our sister paper, the Wall Street Journal. They closed Qatari airspace, which is, of course, quite significant. In the last few minutes, the Qatari Ministry of Defence has said that no casualties. And it's also said they reserve the right to respond directly and in accordance with international law. But as it stands, at that US Al Udeid airbase, no casualties. 6:20. You would talk drive.